Hey everybody, I'm George Conley from Scratch Golf Tips, and today we're going to be talking about chunking irons or hitting your irons fat. This is a requested video by a couple of my followers, so today we're just going to be talking about why a lot of amateurs hit the ball fat with their irons, and then we're going to go over two different ways that you can really fix this issue, because it is a very frustrating issue to be setting up to an iron shot and then hitting it fat and having it only run a couple of yards. Before we get into the rest of the video, please feel free to subscribe to the SGT YouTube channel, posting about 2 or 3 times a week some great golf content. So if you're looking to better your game, you're in the right place. First thing we need to note about iron play is you should always be striking ball then turf, ball then grass with any of your shots. What this means is your club doesn't bottom out when it strikes the ball. It's still going down, and then it hits the ball, and then it continues into the ground. It may seem counterproductive to hit the ball down in order to get the ball up, but with the loft on many of your irons, that's just how it works. So chunking really occurs when people still have this downward swing with your irons that you want, but their weight isn't on their front foot. If it's in the middle or if it's towards the back, they're still gonna swing down, they're still gonna go into the ground, but you're gonna go into the ground before the ball. I have a mat right here, so let me show you this from that angle. So here's our golf mat. What I'm talking about with this is you should be hitting the ball right around here and then finishing into the ground a little bit with your irons. You're going more down with your longer irons, or your shorter irons rather. Your wedges, you should be taking a pretty big divot as compared to a 4-iron, it'll be a lot smaller. But if your weight isn't on your front foot, and if it's in the middle, see how that club kind of goes back? Your club is going to dive down before the ball, and it's gonna hit the ground and then kind of scoot into the ball like that. The ball's not really gonna get off the ground, and it'll only go 20 yards. So for this first drill, all you need is 2 tees. Just put them on either side of the golf ball. It's similar to the putting drill, the gate putting drill, but all you need to focus on here is making square contact with the ball and having the club bottom out after the tees. If you're doing this on the ground, you should be able to see where that dirt starts coming into play with the divot, and you should see that that dirt comes in after the tees. So don't start out with a full swing, just start out with a little chip and just feel the motion of coming down through the ball. So that's your first drill with the tees. Another one can be used just with a simple golf towel. If you put the ball right in the middle here, and then you put out a golf towel, just put it a couple of inches behind the ball and focus on not hitting that golf towel. If you're casting your hands down and you're coming too far behind the ball, it's gonna hit that towel and it's just gonna look ugly. You're gonna hit the towel and then it'll skid against the ball. But if you focus on not striking that towel, your club should come down at a nice angle and it should strike ball and then ground right after. Putting this towel behind there is more of a mental barrier. It's obviously not gonna hurt you if you hit it, it's just gonna mess things up a little bit, but having this here to work against your fat shots will really help. So this towel down drill that I just showed you, I always have this towel down when I'm practicing. I even put it down with my irons before I'm playing around and just hitting balls to loosen up. It always helps me mentally to make sure that I'm not gonna kind of dip my shoulder down and swoop across the ball and make contact with that towel. What the towel will occasionally do is lead to maybe a thin ball. If you're just starting off with a towel and you haven't done it much, you may hit a couple thin, which means that your club, you're gonna hit the ball right on the bottom of the club, and it'll go much further, but it also may go too far. Say if you have a 9-iron, your 9-iron goes 145, you may thin it 155, 160. But you need to consider what you want your miss to be. If you're 150 yards away from the hole, would you rather chunk a ball 20 yards and have 130 yards left in, or would you rather maybe thin a ball just a little bit and hit it 10 yards past the pin? There's not really a right answer, it's very situational. If there's a greenside bunker past the pin, then you don't want to thin it, you may want to focus more on leaning a little bit towards fat. Golf is definitely a game of misses. Obviously, not every shot's gonna be perfect and you need to accept that. You just need to minimize how bad your miss will be. As with any practice or any changes that you're making with your golf swing, it won't come instantly. It may come to some people in 20 minutes. It may take a couple of different training sessions to do so. But those are 2 drills that really help. This towel drill has helped me out. The gate drill gives you that instant feedback as to where your divot is and how fat you can hit it. But the best way to see if you hit the ball fat or not is just by looking at the flight and how you felt. A fat ball, you'll feel that club really digging down too much. You won't feel much contact with the ball because often the grass you're bringing up in your divot, that grass is actually what propels the ball, and that's why the ball only goes 20, 30 yards. But if you're determined to eliminate those pesky, chunky shots, then these are the ways to do it. It's just a matter of you putting the time in order to do so. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you took something out of it, be sure to like the video. On the left side of your screen, you should see a subscribe button for the SGT YouTube channel. On the right side, you should see a video that YouTube recommends you to watch from our channel. Hope you guys enjoyed, play well, and take care.